This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I hold in my hands a letter from Dick Durbin and several members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, signed by Dick Durbin and Dianne Feinstein and Sheldon Whitehouse and Amy Klobuchar and others, to Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts, requesting, not subpoena, not demanding his testimony, but requesting he come and testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee about his colleague, Clarence Thomas. With all of the news of the impropriety and unethical and very likely illegal behavior from this Supreme Court justice, they want answers. They want to know what's going to be done here. I would say, if the Supreme Court decides to rebuff the balance of power check that the Congress has on the Supreme Court, that impeachment proceedings should begin. Now, that's not going to happen because we have a Republican House, and that's where the impeachment proceedings start. They draw up the articles of impeachment. If it gets voted on and advanced to the Senate, that's where the trial happens. And until the Democrats have control of the House, that's not going to happen. But there are powers within the Congress to reorganize the court, and we'd still, again, have to wait until there's a Democrat Congress. Something's going to have to be done. The United States public doesn't have any confidence whatsoever in this particular Supreme Court, this 6-3 joke of a Supreme Court that gallivants across the globe with billionaires who collect Nazi memorabilia. Anyway, now I'm too far afield. I'm going to read a little bit from this letter here. Dear Chief Justice Roberts, we write regarding the April 6, 2023 report by ProPublica entitled Clarence Thomas and the Billionaire. The report describes conduct by a sitting justice that he did not disclose to the public and that is plainly inconsistent with the ethical standards the American people expect of any person in a position of public trust. The Senate Judiciary Committee, which has legislative jurisdiction over federal courts and judges, has a role to play in ensuring that the nation's highest court does not have the federal judiciary's lowest ethical standards. You have a role to play as well, both in investigating how such conduct could take place at the court under your watch and in ensuring that such conduct does not happen again. We urge you to immediately open an investigation and take all needed action to prevent further misconduct. This is not the first time the members of this committee have written you regarding concerns over the Supreme Court's ethical standards. 11 years ago, several members of the committee, including the current chair, sent you the attached letter urging the court to adopt a resolution stating that the justices of the court abide by the Judicial Conference's Code of Conduct for United States judges, a code that binds every other judge in the federal judiciary. You responded that the court, quote, does not plan to adopt the Code of Conduct for the United States judges through a formal resolution and referenced your 2011 year-end report in which you said, quote, the court has no reason to adopt the Code of Conduct as its definitive source of ethical guidance. Anyway, it goes on here, but they are asking for his testimony. They are asking him to show up or to send someone in his stead who sits on the Supreme Court as a representative with the answers they seek from the Chief Justice. It is all a little bit too glad-handy for me. I think they should just subpoena him, just compel his testimony. But maybe it is the prudent thing to do to first extend an invitation and then see if things need to be escalated. I'm me. Maybe I'm a little radical. But we need answers. We need answers. Chief Justice John Roberts, the moderate one on the court, who's saying, oh, no, we don't need to abide by judicial standards. Who needs the rules? Who needs anything in writing? Let's let Clarence do what Clarence is going to do with his billionaire buddies who are buying his properties and then not reporting the income. Clarence Thomas, who's reporting income from a company last year that the company went out of business in 2006. So how is it making money? Clarence Thomas is going on yacht trip after yacht trip and staying in vacation homes of billionaires who just so happen to have a garden filled with statues of dictators and murderers, who collect signed copies of Mein Kampf, who hang portraits that were drawn by Adolf Hitler, signed Adolf Hitler portraits in his house. Yeah, we don't need ethical standards. No. Who needs that? Not us. We're above reproach. We need answers. So thankfully, thank you, Dick Durbin, Senator Durbin from Illinois, for attempting here to get to the bottom of this. What do you think? I'd love to know. We can mix it up in the comments. We can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Do you guys get sick of hearing this? I get sick of saying it. If you would just follow me on Twitter, I'd quit saying it. If you appreciate what I do and the way that I do it, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month. Or better yet, go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt That doesn't just support the podcast. It absolutely supports what we do here on YouTube. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. Thanks for being passionate and informed. It means a lot. Be genuine. Take care of one another.